competition करते करते I've been competing all my life, you know, since I've been not competing, I've been involved in the bodybuilding competition since I was 15. IFBB Pro League में pro कार्ड जीतना हर एक बॉडी बिल्डर का सपना होता है, बट यू नो हमने एथलीट्स के लिए doors to open कर दिए in regards to winning the IFBB Pro card, but when it comes to an Indian born in India with an Indian passport, but who's living in Canada though, but यहाँ से bodybuilding career शुरू किया, there is only one person who has won IFBB Pro show not only one time but 2 times. Ladies and gentlemen, मैं चाहता हूँ आप जोर जोर की तालियां बजाएं for Bhuwan Chauhan. He's the only Indian to win 2 IFBB Pro show, and he has competed in Olympia as well, and next year he's coming all guns blazing. Bhuwan, welcome to India, and obviously you're living in Canada. मैं चाहता हूँ आप हिंदी में बात करें ताकि लोगों को पता चले आप वाकई इंडियन हैं, आप वाकई इधर के जंपल हैं, एंड आपकी जो जर्नी है in regards to you starting and born in Gurgaon. From there, by the way, being an athlete is important, but being an educated athlete is very important. Knowledge is a key. He's an engineer as well. So, apart from continuing his career as an athlete, he's always made sure that his future is secure in terms to gaining knowledge, in terms to being a professional as well. But इनका enthusiasm देख के इन्होंने काफ़ी लोगों को इंस्पायर किया, नॉट ओनली इन इंडिया बट आउटसाइड इंडिया एज वेल. हम यूएस में जाते हैं, कनाडा में जाते हैं, मैं देखता हूँ भुवन आज की डेट में विद इन टॉप 10-15 मेंस फिजिक एथलीट्स की गिनती में जरूर आते हैं. भुवन, द स्टेज इज ऑल योर्स. आई वांट to give you the entire stage to talk about your journey and what it took for you not only to win a pro card but what it takes to win IFBB Pro show.
So पहली बात तो ये कि it's 3 times IFBB Pro champion now, 3 times world champion, which is amazing because मुझे काफ़ी सपोर्ट करा है from Sheru from last 1 years that he knows me. और मेरी जर्नी जब शुरू हुई थी, मैं इंडिया में ही पैदा हुआ था, मैं दिल्ली में पैदा हुआ था, मैं काफ़ी जगहों पर मैं गया हूँ. हर 3 साल में मेरी डैड का ट्रांसफरेबल जॉब था. मैं जयपुर में रहा, वाराणसी में रहा, मैं भुवनेश्वर में भी रह चुका हूँ, मैं जयपुर, उदयपुर, हर जगह मैंने स्कूलिंग करी है. तो मैं मेरी स्कूलिंग इंडिया में हुई और उसके बाद स्कॉलरशिप्स के बेस पे मैं कनाडा गया था इंजीनियरिंग करने. और उसी दौरान आई स्टार्टेड गोइंग टू द जिम. और जब मैंने जिम स्टार्ट किया था उस समय ना इंस्टाग्राम था, ना स्नैपचैट था, ना आपको अपनी बॉडी दिखाने का मौका मिलता था. तो इट्स जस्ट व्हाटएवर यू रीड ऑनलाइन ऑन फोरम्स. सो मेरे लिए मैं आई स्टार्टेड रीडिंग ऑन फोरम्स टू लर्न एंड एजुकेट माई सेल्फ अबाउट फिटनेस. एंड उसके साथ साथ मेरी जो इंजीनियरिंग कोर्स जो मैं पढ़ रहा था, दैट वाज माय प्रायोरिटी. बट क्योंकि यहाँ पे कई लोग ऐसे हैं जो कॉलेज जाते हैं, यूनिवर्सिटी जाते हैं, स्कूल जाते हैं, आई वांट यू टू नो कि इट्स वेरी बिजी, इट टेक्स अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम एंड बजट कम होता है, पेरेंट्स से पैसे नहीं मांगे जा सकते हैं. एंड सप्लीमेंट्स या जो आप सब देख रहे हो, इट्स वेरी लिमिटेड मनी टू बाय सप्लीमेंट्स एंड बाय फूड. मेरे पास भी वही चीज़ें थी. आई वेंट थ्रू द एग्जैक्ट सेम व्हेन आई वाज 17-18 व्हेन आई वेंट टू कनाडा. But उस समय the only thing I had in mind is like, ठीक है, what is the cheapest way of eating most amount of protein and what is the cheapest way of maintaining a diet, और उसके साथ साथ मैं कैसे वर्कआउट सीख सकता हूँ. आप लोगों के पास इतनी सारी अपॉर्चुनिटीज हैं फ्रॉम यूट्यूब, फ्रॉम इंस्टाग्राम. यू गाइस गेट टू सी लाइक दीज शोज टू गेट इंस्पायर्ड. उस समय ना तो कोई ऐसा शो होता था, ना कोई मेंस फिजिक डिवीजन था. अगर आपको अच्छा दिखना है, यू डोंट हैव अ चॉइस बट जस्ट टू ट्रेन बिकॉज यू लाइक इट, यू लव इट. I started training because I love training, not because I wanted to look like somebody या मेरे को show compete करना था. And I feel वो एक बहुत important basis है कि you have to love what you are doing. आपकी चाहे वो diet हो, चाहे आपका training हो, you have to fall in love with the process, not just the end result. So मेरी बिगनिंग वहाँ से शुरू हुई. उसके बाद मैंने compete करना शुरू किया because जब मैं जॉब कर रहा था तब मेरे पास पैसे आने शुरू हुए. So I never competed when I was in college. ना मैं कभी चाहता था कि मैं compete करूँ because आपके finances is number one thing. अगर आप लोग यूनिवर्सिटी में या स्कूल में हो, get your diet on point, go to the gym, build that base, build that foundation. अभी जो यहाँ पे shows हो रहे हैं, जो अभी यहाँ पे शेरू क्लासिक हुआ, IHFF में जो हो रहा है, the level of competition is so high कि आप 1 या 2 साल में वैसे भी बॉडी नहीं बना पाओगे. So if you're a youngster, you should be focusing time on putting it in the gym. 4, 5, 6 साल आप लगाओ, उसके बाद आप compete करने का सोचें when you're working, you're making money. You don't have a problem paying for registration, for tanning. It's an expensive sport. आप कोई भी स्पोर्ट जाओगे, गोल्फ खेलोगे, क्रिकेट खेलोगे, हर स्पोर्ट में यू हैव टू स्पेंड सम मनी. सो पहले आप अपने उसको उस लेवल पे लाओ, अपना बेस बनाओ, fall in love with the process, उसके बाद you decide to compete. And that's one thing that I did, which is why I feel that maybe that's the reason why I succeeded so fast. मैंने 2016 में अपना पहला शो किया था, and 2016 से लेकर 2018 तक जितने शो मैंने खेले सारे मैंने जीते. वो इसलिए जीते क्योंकि मैं उससे पहले I was already doing this, I was staying fit, I was following a diet, I was already in love with bodybuilding. I wasn't doing it because of social media, I wasn't doing it because of, oh, I wanted to be a pro in 2 years of training. I knew that if I wanted to be a pro, I've already put in 8 years of training behind my belt. So अगर आपने already 8 years, 7-6 साल रखे हुए हैं, you followed your diet well, you trained well, then you can be confident that yeah, maybe you can turn pro, maybe yeah, this is a career that you can follow. That's what I did. When I turned pro, I quit my job as an engineer. And the reason I quit my job is because I wanted to go to Olympia. I wanted to be the first person to go to Olympia, but I knew I had to make some sacrifices. सबसे पहला sacrifice था, you have to sacrifice your job. Why? Because it takes away the focus. आप अगर 10 घंटे काम कर रहे हो और आपको अगर साल में 6 प्रो शोज खेलने हैं, at the pro show level, पहले तो सिर्फ 3 हफ्ते की छुट्टी मिलती है. So I won't be able to push as hard as I want if I'm only getting 3 weeks of vacation. So I took that calculated risk कि मैं एक साल I'm just going to devote to bodybuilding. If I fail, मेरे पास security है. वही भी शुरू पाजी बात कर रहे थे कि you need to have a security. अगर आप फेल हो जाते हो, it's not a bad thing. एक साल दोबारा जॉब करो, फिर आपको मौका मिल जाएगा दोबारा अपने करने के लिए. You can always go back and forth. That's what I did. मैं ये नहीं कि मैं बिल्कुल सब कुछ छोड़ छाड़ के I just went straight into bodybuilding and then सारा finances, सब career मैंने छोड़ दिया. No, I did that for 1 year and luckily because of my work ethic and just the right circumstances, I was able to win a pro show next year and go to the Olympia. And then one after the other, things started getting well. I got sponsorships and then everything started going well. And I was able to establish myself as an athlete, as a full-time athlete and influencer now. So, इसका मैं आपको ये इसलिए शेयर कर रहा हूँ that you guys don't give up on your dreams and just make those decisions and just stay focused. Because a lot of the times, जब आप दूसरों को blame करते हो, जब आप लोग compete या जो competitors हैं, आप judges को blame करते हो, you blame the judges, you blame everybody else, but are you really putting that much effort into yourself? If you are, then you will achieve success. Maybe not in 1 year, maybe not in 2 years, but eventually you will. So that's what I want to tell you guys. Just stick to your goals, just work hard and stay focused and don't blame others. Nobody is responsible for your life but yourself. So stay focused, put in that effort and you will get the success that you want.
Also, you know, in today's world, we're living in 2 different worlds. One is actual world and one is virtual world. And problem in today's generation, which I see, is people are not working hard enough. You know, they look for shortcuts. They look for, you know, they want to go at the speed of a rocket. How important it is from your perspective, you are also very famous in regards to social media. But at the same time, we see you are very dedicated as well in the real world. But we have so many people, they portray different life on a social media and in a reality it's a completely different thing. And I see in today's world, the youth is being, you know, not going in the right direction the way it should be when it comes to, you know, sticking to the core. So what's your take in regards to, you know, virtual world and actual world in terms of training and professional?
I was never about social media. I was never about being an influencer. It just happened. I never wanted, it just happened. And that's what I want to share is like if you try too hard, if you try to be fake, if you try to portray an image that you're not, or if you think that by posting 10 times a day you'll make it a career, well, maybe your priorities are not right. Because if you want to be an athlete, if you want to be known as a fitness model, then your priorities need to be about your physique, your discipline, about your dieting and your training, not about posting 10 times a day. But if you do follow those guides, if you do follow that training, if you're doing everything right, eventually people will start noticing it. Eventually you will have that, you'll stand out, and that's what happened to me. Like the only reason I am where I am today and why you love me so much and you support me so much and you're right here looking at me is because I just shared my real journey with you guys. I did, I was falling, I was passionate about my bodybuilding, I was passionate about my men's physique division that I compete in, and then you guys just loved my journey. You liked how real I was and how real I am now, which is why I try to say that if you want to make it a career, you have to stay true to yourself and be real on social media.
When it comes to being on Olympia stage, now being an IFBB Pro League athlete is a one thing, but what it takes for you to be on Olympia stage, especially getting qualified for Olympia. You know, we know that you have qualified quite a few times, and how hard the life is when we are preparing for Mr. Olympia.
So, as a competitor, I feel, yeah, there are levels to this. There's one level that you go from amateur to being an IFBB pro, then you go from being an IFBB pro to placing top 5 at a pro show, and then you win a pro show and you go to Olympia, and then after Olympia, placing at the Olympia. So, from my journey, what I can say is that just the difference between a pro and a pro who consistently places at pro shows is that he dedicates his life to competing. That's what he is known for. That's what he lives day in, day out, 365 days a year. The diet is on point, the training is on point. It's not 3-month prep and then 9-month off season where you just do whatever you want and you enjoy life, and then you eat ghar ka khana and mummy ki dal ki sabji and all that stuff. That's not how this works. This is a job and you have to take it seriously. If you're a pro, you are working. You have a responsibility to represent, yes, your country, but at the same time represent that title. That IFBB Pro card is a title, and you have to portray that in the right way, which I feel a lot of people don't do. And for me, if you want to go to that Olympia level, if you do it consistently, that's the only way you go to Olympia. I'm glad that I've been able to do that. You guys can see it, that that's what it takes, like being dedicated to the sport, 365 days a year, staying in shape. I haven't competed in almost 3 months now, and I'm in off season right now, but I feel like I have a pretty decent shape.
You're not in off season. We're gonna look for some guest posing after my last question, which is, what are your plans for 2022 Mr. Olympia?
So my plans for 2022 Mr. Olympia is, if you guys have seen me, I decided to take this year off from going to Olympia, but I did still competed, I still won my shows, and I've already qualified for next year's Olympia. And by giving that break, I've allowed myself to gain already 10 pounds of muscle mass, and I will have at least 8 pounds more by the time I go to Olympia in 2022, which is what the goal was, which is what the judges' feedback was, for me to gain at least 10 to 12 pounds of muscle. By the time I go to Olympia next year, I'll be having 18 pounds of muscle and dominate the Olympia and actually make another record by placing in the first call-out.
Also, you are training under a very special coach, you know. Obviously, it takes a lot of effort when it comes to, you know, being under some coach. How important it is, you know, to pick a right coach who understand your body, who understand, you know, what you require, because every athlete is different. It's like a shirt, you know. You can't put XL shirt on a medium-sized person, you know. So how you know, can you tell each and everyone name of your coach, who's a very big name in America, but I have you talk about it, and how important it is to be around a person who can understand how your body works.
So I've had a couple coaches in the past, but the coach that has got me to the Olympia for the last 3 years is Ryan Benson from Team Zero Gravity, and the reason I tend to stick with him is because we just work in a very good harmony. I understand my body pretty well by competing over the years for the last 5 years and doing almost 20 shows now, and he understands my body so well because of how many shows and how many Olympias we have done. So we can discuss, we can talk, we can manipulate things last minute, we can manipulate things at the start of the prep, and I feel that trust factor is the most important thing that you need to have in a coach. If you are having a coach, you need to have that trust 100%, and if you don't think that you can talk to that coach one-on-one, if he doesn't take feedback from you, if he thinks that if he just tells you everything to do, if you're not in tune with your body, I feel like maybe that's something you need to reevaluate. Always do your research, always make sure that you understand the coaching style of that coach, and after that make the decision, and then once you've made the decision, just put 100% trust in the coach, and just do your work. Maybe the coach isn't wrong, maybe it's you you who's not putting in 100% effort, maybe you had a cheat meal, maybe you had a snack, maybe you did all of that. Maybe it's not the coach who's responsible for you not pacing ahead, which is what I see a lot of times, that people blame coaches. My first show with my same coach, I came 9th at a pro show. And after that, we just kept getting second, first, second, and then went to the Olympia. But if I had quit after that 9th placing, maybe I wouldn't have gone to the Olympia. Who knows?
Well, Bhuwan, thank you so much. You came to India from Canada, and you're sharing your journey with people here. You've been inspiring a lot of people. Before you go, can we have some pose down? Obviously, starting with the men's physique poses which are essential, and then some free posing for the all.
So I didn't come here for posing a guest posing session, but because he's saying that and because so many of you all are here, I will do it. I have no pump on, I have no tan on, so this is me just walking around.
Because you have brown munda, and brown munda needs to show his body now.
So let's do that. Let's make it happen.